So when last we left off, you guys finally initiated the plan into action. Shortly after Barnabas and some other devils arrived to have their meeting with the wizard, he popped into the tavern to let you guys know that you guys needed to stay in there while he took care of some business. At which point, you had Sneed make a screwdriver and deftly hid some poison in it and handed it to him, thoroughly convincing him that Sneed, for whatever reason, had poisoned his drink. At which point he just evaporated Sneed with a magic missile, thereby violating the contract that he had signed with the Devils unknowingly. At which point, almost immediately, battle broke out as faster than Barnabas had expected. This entire magical demiplane started collapsing. All kinds of craziness occurred, with like a dragon being summoned that then was immediately crushed by a castle that collided with this realm from another realm. And there was a whole bunch of different monsters and realms just kind of all collapsing into each other. You guys managed to kill 6 of the 8 simulacra that the wizard had before they escaped into the invisible little tower that he keeps. The wizard himself was killed, but unfortunately, he had a body backup waiting in the tower. As everything is continuing to break apart, and you guys are now essentially standing on a floating chunk of rock floating in this void among many other pieces. Just a little hard to illustrate properly in 2 dimensions, but we just gotta use imagination.
Doing what we can.
Barnabas is currently working on a teleportation ritual to pull you guys out of here. He's got 3 rounds left that he needs to finish on this spell. Most of the devils that he brought with him, including the Pit Fiend, did not make it back to safety, got crushed or fell into the void as this realm continued to collapse. And as you guys have got these 3 rounds left, the wizard's backup body emerged from the tower along with his 2 remaining simulacra and is descending towards combat with you guys. I am going to need everybody to roll initiative.
So they're coming down to us?
Yes.
Okay.
They are like 200 feet above you.
Okay.
I would have probably moved into a protective stance in front of Barnabas, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Wait, which direction are they coming from?
They're above you guys.
Oh, okay, so they're like, okay. Maybe I would have stayed there then.
And the bird, the rock, is still there?
That thing is still somehow alive, still flying around the void.
Just chilling, okay. How high above us are they?
About 200 feet. It seems like the tower has cracked and is now like falling downward parallel above you guys.
Once it starts to get within my range, I'm gonna start shooting off some shit.
Yeah, I kind of used some of my range stuff, so I don't really have much to do right now other than shoot a bow, which I guess I could, but
as you all are prepping for the coming onslaught, you see the wizard cast a spell, and all of a sudden, everything stops and seems like it is shaking. as he casts Time Stop. And you guys get in effect kind of like when Professor X has the seizure in Logan and is like freezing the world around him. It's like that. Because this realm is still attempting to collapse, and he is like temporarily holding that with this spell.
Can that be counterspelled?
You are not in range for a counterspell. He is too
Okay.
far above you.
Gotcha.
So the time stop is just affecting the realm, it's not affecting us.
It is affecting everyone except him and his simulacra.
So we are frozen.
You are all frozen
Damn.
as he and the simulacra descend and get into position to start casting their own spells. They are still like floating above you guys, so none of them are within melee attack range. But they're positioning themselves. You assume arcane casters, you'd be aware of this. They roughly want to be in like counterspell range. So the first thing that I'm going to need you guys to all do, they are all simultaneously unleashing some spells here. I'm gonna need the 4 of you to make wisdom saving throws.
Oh no.
Oh,
Oh no.
oh no.
Everyone is blessed still, other than Ingrid, because she hasn't taken that potion.
And I also have Bane.
And Bardic Inspiration.
Gilderoy lost his bless. It got dispelled.
Sorry, you said wisdom save?
Wisdom saving throw.
Ooh, that's my worst.
Oh.
Oh!
You did better than I did.
Oh!
Okay.
Yup.
Ingrid is the only one that makes this.
Hot
Oh.
damn.
Oh my god.
That happens. It happened last session too. This never happens to me.
This one casts the spell to hold you all in place. You are all restrained.
How does Barnabas look? Does he look affected by this?
Barnabas has not been affected by it.
Okay.
Devils have magic resist. A man
Ah.
succeeded on 8 banishments. Barnabas is
Yeah, he's good. He's good.
So Walrus is restrained. Vegeta is restrained. Gilderoy is restrained. The next thing that I'm gonna need is I'm gonna need everybody to make intelligence saving throws.
Fuck.
I'm guessing I can't counterspell any of this shit.
That's not good.
Oh no.
You are not able to because you are held.
Yep. Cool.
What is the Bardic Inspiration die?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
1d10.
You know, I'm gonna roll that too.
Might as well.
Okay.
Ah, damn it. Okay.
So 23, 22, 22.
22 just makes it.
Oh, fuck.
Barnabas actually failed this one. He only got a 20.
Oh, no.
So, everybody takes 25 psychic damage, except for the one person who succeeded takes half that, takes 12 psychic damage.
Bless is down.
No, a 12 makes it.
Oh!
'Cause
Ha! Bless
it's
is
half
still
the
up.
damage. So half that is 12, and you made a 12. So you just rolled high enough to keep Bless up.
And that's only on Barnabas and Vegeta right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like.
Because I initially blessed Gilderoy, Barnabas, and Vegeta.
You and Ingrid took the potions, though, right? To have your own.
I took my
bless,
potion.
essentially?
Ingrid has not taken her potion yet.
I think I took. What did I take? The haste potion?
The haste one,
Yeah,
yeah.
your haste.
Yeah,
right?
I only took the haste potion. Would I guess retroactively, would I have had time to take the heroism potion?
Yeah, because you guys had like essentially a couple of rounds
Okay.
of time
I-
passing before the wizard came out of the tower.
I probably would have,
Okay.
knowing that I had a few minutes, because I don't typically have time to do that in combat. Without
Yeah, go ahead and
wasting
add
an
those
action.
modifiers to the sheet. 1d8 to saves and 1d8 to attacks.
Oh, it's 1d8?
Or not
Well, this is a
1d4.
Oh, okay. I'm
I'm
just
saying
gonna
1d8.
turn on the bless there.
And that lasts for an hour.
Okay, cool.
So the other fun little thing is everybody that failed has a debuff applied to them by the Synaptic Static of a minus 1d6 to all attacks.
Oh.
Which I think in the
Um.
sheet you have to type it out as this.
Yeah. For my 7 intelligence save, even if I had got a 4 on the dice, would I have saved?
No, it was
No.
a 22.
Okay.
You needed a 22.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Back.
It also removes a d6 from concentration checks, but there's no way to like separate that out from other saves, so we'll just do that manually.
Is that saves and attacks?
It's only attacks and concentration checks.
The synaptic static?
Would that
Minus
have
1d6.
affected my constitution save right then?
I think it would have actually, because it would have been applied by the attack that hit you.
Okay, so then bless would have been down because
Yep.
I
Even if
purposely
it
made it.
removes 1. Yep. Alright, so you are no longer concentrating on bless. Barnabas no longer has bless. And then this one over here is going to cast a spell, and you guys see this shimmering magical construct start to appear. Like, at first it looks like somebody's conjuring an illusion, but then the illusion finishes taking shape, and it seems a little more substantial as he uses Arcane Dragon.
Can I
To summon this.
counterspell that?
You are held by the spell, so you cannot
Is
counterspell
it
right now.
restrained or
Oh, you're right. It would be paralyzed, not restrained.
is it paralyzed? Okay. Okay, cool. No, I was just wondering. We're good. You don't have to change all that.
Okay. And since this one casts an offensive spell with Synaptic Static, breaks the time stop, and we are into initiative now. Ingrid, it's your turn.
Okay. I just took that psychic damage and have the minus to saves, right?
Attacks.
Hold on. So I have the D4 from the blast potion and then a minus 1d6 from the synaptic static to attacks and saves.
Just attacks.
Oh, just attack. Sorry. I don't know why I kept hearing saves in there. Okay.
Okay, looks like you got it correct.
Yes. Okay. So I think I said last session that when we saw the guys poking out, I raged to have that off.
Yep.
So I will just come on up to here. I think I'm just going to recklessly one-handed attack so that I can keep my shield up.
That'll hit.
Okay. 2.
All right, 2 hits on the Arcane Dragon.
Yes. Sorry, remind me, I'm just looking at my page. I used my shared passage last time, right? To get out of the grip of that rock, right? That's what I did?
I believe so.
Okay, I just forgot to mark it off then. Okay. Other than that, I believe that's my turn.
All right. At the end of your turn, which is going to use a legendary action, that is a 20. That does not hit you.
No, it does not.
He shoots off a firebolt. You can block it with your shield. And then it is his turn. Yeah, he's not concentrating on anything right now. He is gonna cast. He's gonna like float a little closer to you guys, and then he is going to cast telekinesis. Walrus, I'm gonna need you to make a strength check.
Check or save?
It is a check, I believe. I'll tell you the number you have to beat here. 1 second. You only have to beat a 7.
What if?
Yeah?
Oh.
Uh-huh.
You feel a familiar force as he casts telekinesis and tries to grab you and drag you off the ledge. And somehow even... Oh, actually, does Paralyze make you auto-fail?
I think so, yeah. That would make sense.
You automatically fail strength and dexterity saving throws.
It's not a
not
saving throw, it's a
checks.
check.
Yep.
You somehow manage to anchor yourself to the ground.
Got strong
he-
toes.
Attempts
Dig your
to
heels in.
magically pull you off the rock and throw you out into space. Like, let go of the rock, you little shit!
Eat a bag of dicks, my dude.
Alright, Barnabas finishes one of the 3 remaining rounds. At the end of Barnabas's turn, Wizard is going to use legendary action to shoot a firebolt at Walrus, because Walrus is just annoying. 19 hits.
My AC is 20 because I'm hasted.
Oh, that's right. So 19 doesn't. He keeps rolling.
Eat a bag of dicks.
This is so bad for him. Oh. You said your AC is 20, right?
Yeah, because haste adds 2.
His better roll was 20. I forgot that he's got advantage because you're held. So I believe he rolls a 20 that hits.
Yes.
So 23 fire damage.
Ooh, I don't like that. And I can't uncanny dodge because I don't have a reaction, right?
Didn't you have some sort of resistance to fire?
If he'd gotten more levels in Paladin, he would have gotten
Mhm.
fire resist.
I would have gotten to level
okay.
7, I think.
Oh, okay.
But right, I can't uncanny dodge because I'm
Yeah.
stunned or
Yep.
whatever.
Because you guys are all being held by this guy.
You said 23?
23 fire damage. Alright, Simulacra's turn. They are both concentrating on spells. They used up a lot of their spell slots in the earlier combat. So they're both just gonna shoot off firebolts. That is going to be a 27 to hit against Walrus for another 25 fire damage. And that is a natural 20 against Ingrith. For
Gross.
50 fire damage.
Jesus.
50? 50?
5-0. He rolled
You
really
got
well on
high.
the damage.
You got high level cantrips, yo. You can do some
Uh-huh.
massive damage.
Yup.
And that's 8d10 on a firebolt.
What?
Jesus.
No.
Yeah, 'cause 4d10 and then you double it for a crit, so 8d10.
Oh my god.
Ugh.
Yeah.
All right, your turn, Walrus.
What can I do?
Well, I think being held, all you can do is save against it, right? Yeah, I believe that's the case. I believe you don't get to do anything until you save at the end of your turn.
And what does it save again?
Wisdom saving throw.
Shit. Thank God.
Nice.
You manage to break out of the hold spell. In that natural 20 when you needed it.
I needed it. But that's the end of my turn.
That is the end of your turn, and on the end of your turn, Wizard is going to use another legendary action,
To
And-
strike me down.
shoot a firebolt at you again. He rolls a natural 20.
I negate
However-
natural 20s.
You negate natural 20s with your armor, so it's just a regular hit. Still rolled 23 damage.
Uncanny dodge.
Uncanny dodge for half, that's 11 damage.
Great.
All right, Vedita, your turn.
Yep.
Just make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Yep. That's me.
You are still
That's all of
held.
us.
Yeah.
We were not a wisdom strong
No,
group here.
we're not. Do I
The
have
arcane
anything?
dragon's turn.
Who baned you, Vedita?
It happens on the counter spell.
Yeah, counter spell thing.
Oh shit.
The dragon is just going to use its breath attack. I am going to need everybody to make a Constitution save. The devils are... Barnabas is good. The lesser ones actually don't quite make it. So, Gilderoy fails. Ingrith fails. The other two, you were good. So everybody that failed takes 17 cold damage. Oh, Gilderoy's got resistance to that, so it is only 8 cold damage. The devils are also resistant.
Walrus drops, and then his armor pulses a little bit and brings him barely up to 1 hit point.
It's kind of like the Doctor Strange's cape, and then it seems to like exude personality for a moment and like pulls you back up to your feet.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I love it.
Who did you give Death Ward to, Walrus?
Gilderoy.
Okay. Oh fuck.
Sorry, how many hit points do I take? I passed.
You take 8 damage.
Okay.
As this construct's breath is not as powerful as an actual dragon's breath would be.
Thank God.
And then it is going to not use this breath, so that's it. Gilderoy, wisdom saving throw, please.
Question though. Can you do verbal stuff if you're paralyzed? Like verbal
It says
spells?
you can speak falteringly.
So no, you're incapacitated and can't move or speak. Only falteringly.
Okay.
I know I looked that up too.
Yep.
Can I inspire myself?
You don't have an action on this turn because you're
Oh, that's
paralyzed.
right. That's not an action. Bardic Inspiration isn't an action. Is it?
If you don't have an action, you don't have a bonus action either. I think that's generally how that's ruled.
Bardic Inspiration, I don't believe is a bonus action. Oh,
It's
yeah,
a bonus
yeah, it
action.
is. It is. I just read it. Sorry. Scrolled too far. Okay, wisdom save.
That will be sufficient. The saving throw on the simulacra is not as high as it is on the wizard himself.
Save.
They are not perfect duplicates. They also don't have the items that he has. You are no longer held at the end of your turn. Gonna roll and see what happens here. The rock ends up flying for one of the simulacra, who has to use a reaction to cast a ward around himself. As the bird flies at him and tries to grab him and peck at him, and is just laying into this golden shield around him.
Yeah.
And we are back to Ingrith. Oh, did you remember to use your hasted action last turn?
Probably not.
Feel free
No,
to
I didn't.
add that in if you want to.
Okay, well, I'll
If you
take
wanted
it.
to attack or use something else, that's fine.
Oh. Okay, well, I'll attack for my last one.
Another hit on the dragon.
So I can use my hasted action to take my potion, right? My elixir?
Yes, you can.
Oh, thank fuck. Okay. Well, I'm gonna recklessly hit it twice for my action.
That will not hit.
Okay.
Oh, forgot to have you do another intelligence save at the end of
Oh,
your turn.
okay. So... Save.
Yep. Everybody who's affected by the static,
Oh,
make an
sorry.
intelligence save. A 19 is not going to do it.
Okay.
That's a nope. That
Okay.
was cast by the main guy, so you guys have to get a 22.
So then my second... This round's second attack.
That'll hit.
Oh. And then I will use my haste action to take my elixir. Okay. I don't really have a bonus action, do I? Nope.
Rage and second wind. I think that's pretty much
Yeah,
it.
That's about it. So yeah, that is my turn. Will make another intelligence save for this round.
Yep.
Okay.
22 will do it.
Yay! Okay,
You are no longer affected by the synaptic static.
perfect. Okay, that's my turn.
All right, end of your turn. I know he's out of legendary actions for this round until it gets to his next turn.
Oh.
So, it is now the wizard's turn. He's gonna attempt to pull you again, Walrus. Still going to the telekinesis. You need to beat a 25 on a strength check.
And that's with a minus d6.
It's a strength check.
That's-
You do not have a minus d6 to checks.
Oh,
Only
is that
to
not an
attacks.
ability check?
It's only
I
minus
thought-
1d6 to attacks and constitution checks. Or concentration checks, rather.
Okay, if you said it's a 25, that's impossible. My strength is a +1. I can't.
I think it's
I can't make that.
I think it's 22. Oh, is this a different save?
It's-
Sorry.
Yeah,
it's a
it would be.
contested roll.
Okay. Sorry.
All right, I'm going.
He floats down a little closer and makes intense eye contact with you and reaches out his hand, and you feel this magical grip tightening as he lifts you off the ground and then just chucks you.
Which direction?
30 feet.
I don't suppose I would have been able to reach behind me at Gilderoy and grab his Cape of the Mountebank beforehand. I was planning to do that and steal that from him on my next turn.
It's an attuned item, I believe.
It is not.
No?
Cape of Mountebank is not attunable.
It is not.
I think I'm going to say no because you didn't announce it ahead of time that was your intention.
Okay.
But with turns being this kind of weird suspended time thing, like, you're not gone yet, right? If somebody had a way of like, using fly to go out there and grab you and teleport back, like, they can still do it before you fall into the void. But that is what the wizard does on his turn. Finally fucking gets you. Barnabas finishes his second of the 3 rounds required. Simulacra.
Ignore that. Sorry.
This guy's still got one of you held, so he's gonna keep concentrating on that. I'm gonna just roll to see if they think smart about this. No, it doesn't really occur to either of them to do this. Okay. So they are not going to unleash on Barnabas to stop him. They're just going to keep attacking you guys. A 16 does not hit Gilderoy, but a 21 will, right?
Correct.
20 fire damage as they both fire off fireballs at you. At the end of their turn, the wizard is going to use a legendary action to... I'm going to use 2 legendary actions, actually, because he is smarter than his simulacrum. He is going to cast Magic Missile at 3rd level, and he's going to send all the shots at Barnabas.
Counterspell.
Alright, he is also going to use a counterspell. What level counterspell are you using?
4.
He is casting at 5. You need to make a charisma check, and you need to get a 15. Charisma check,
Oh, sorry.
not
check.
save. I mean, the roll is technically the same, so I'm fine with using the first one. Because I don't believe that you have... Oh, no, you do have a different bonus.
Mhm.
Forgot that you specialize that. Alright. 12 is not going to do it. So the first thing we're going to do is resolve the double counter spell. So let's see what we get here. 17. You guys suddenly swap places.
Oh my god.
As the wizard is forced onto
Oh.
the platform, standing on the ground, and Gilderoy, you are now, like, briefly suspended in the void, about to fall.
Oh no.
His spell does still go off. That is 16 damage to Barnabas, who has taken a little bit of hurt at this point. But all that was happening based on a reaction to a legendary action. And Wallace, it is your turn.
Okay, this dragon thing over here, what is it considered? Is it a creature or an illusion or what?
It's technically a creature. It's a
I would like-
construct.
Okay, I'm going to cast the spell Bless, or not Bless, Command at 2nd level, which means I can target 2 creatures, and I'm going to command them to, I'm going to say the word catch, as in catch me and catch Gilderoy to the rock and the dragon.
Okay, they make wisdom
Ooh,
saves,
okay.
right?
Oh.
Yes.
All right, as you cast this spell, the dragon does not seem to respond, probably because it is a magical construct under the direct will of somebody else. But you see the rock kind of stops assailing the simulacra and turns its attention to you. And is not concentration, right? It just means on their next turn they have to perform the action if they fail.
Reading. Yes, it follows its command on its next turn.
All right, so you use your action to cast command. Seems like it has worked on the rock. But other than that, if you don't have anything else, you just start plummeting into the void.
I will drink my potion with one of my other actions. I have like 10.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, great. I'm at 54 hit points.
As you are falling, you notice. So you have to imagine that there's like more stuff than I have on the map here, right? As all these different realms are colliding and breaking apart. You fall down and you notice that underneath this chunk of land that you guys are on is another hunk of like noticeably more intact than surrounding parts. And you see some figures standing on it.
Do I recognize them?
You see the Summer Lord, who is currently surrounded.
It's-
On one side
Oh,
is a
God.
fire giant, and this lava plane, and on the other side is what looks like a sea colliding into the lava plane, and some sort of water monster.
Oh my
Looks
god.
like a kraken or something.
Oh.
You basically have these two things like surrounding the Summer Lord and attacking them.
Great. I hope it hurts.
Would Barnabas' spell... It wouldn't get the Summer Lord out, would it?
I mean, you don't have any way of really knowing that.
I mean, you could always try to negotiate and have them bring you back up, if you land in that direction.
The rock is bringing me back up.
If you get that far.
Vedita, wisdom saving throw, please, against the hold.
Ooh, I need to also synaptic static.
Oh, right.
Intelligence?
Intelligence saving throw.
Okay, great.
That'll do it. Oh no, sorry. Or yeah, that's a plus, not a minus. You're good. That's 28. Vedita, you remain held by this Simulacra's hold spell. You get one of the good wisdom saves too. You get a +2
That's good? Oh god.
for your team. Yes.
For this group.
Yeah, for us, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't help that I have Bane on,
Mm.
which basically negates that. It's fine.
You and Ingrith, it looks like, have the highest wisdom saves. And Ingrith only has that because of the shield. Alright, Arcane Dragon's turn. The Arcane Dragon is just going to do some attacks. It's going to go for a bite attack and a claw attack. There's a 15 on the bite, which will not hit. 30 on the claw attack. So that is 18 damage reduced to 9.
Okay.
Oh, I think I forgot to. And these guys in the initiative. These guys would have attacked the dragon. Since it was the first thing to really show up. So you do have a couple of the bearded devils helping you. End of the Arcane Dragon's turn. The wizard is going to use a legendary action. He is going to cast Shocking Grasp on Barnabas. That will hit with a 22. Does Barnabas have? He does not have lightning resistance. That's demons that have all those resistances. Devils are only resistant to cold. That is another 23 damage to Barnabas. Gilderoy. You start to fall into the void. The counterspell having swapped your positions.
To read a scroll is an action, correct?
Depends on the spell. If it's a bonus action spell, then it's a bonus action.
Okay. Gilderoy's gonna use Steel Wind Strike.
Ooh.
And
What is the range on Steel Wind Strike?
30 feet, which the dragon and the wizard are in range of.
Yep. You can do that as you start to fall.
Nice.
Gonna attack the dragon first. So that's just a regular attack, I believe.
I believe it uses the like your spell attack.
Which is
The melee spell attack.
10. Does it not have a... Okay. Okay. Sorry, I have to edit this thingy because it didn't do it. So, okay. Nope, that was not supposed to be plus 20. It's only supposed to be plus 10, so it's 18 minus 4. I hit the wrong button.
An 18 will hit the dragon. You're hitting the dragon first, you said?
Yep. Yep. So 34
Although-
damage.
You do have the -4 from the static,
Yes.
so that will bring it down to a 14.
So it'd be 18. Yeah.
14 is not going to hit the dragon.
Okay. Then I'm going to poof and hit the wizard, because... Yeah. So I am next to the wizard and will stab him. So that would be 22.
22 will hit.
with a 28 force damage, and I pop up next to him.
All right.
Actually,
Now, wielding the elemental staff, you just teleport through the air with Steel Wind Strike, narrowly missing the dragon and then appearing next to the wizard and just fucking bonking him with it.
Can I use healing word or no? Can't remember. I'm drawing a full blank on all this stuff.
It only double spell if one's a cantrip.
Yeah, okay, and then I'll inspire Vedita, my last bardic inspiration.
Oh, thank you.
And I believe that is all I can do. Yes.
Alright, on the rock turn, it abandons its assault on the simulacra, and this thing has an obscene amount of movement, right? Yeah, 120 feet of flying. It just goes into a dive, grabs you in its talons, Walrus. And your order was catch, right?
Correct, because it has to just be a one word.
Alright, so it dives down and it grabs you in its talons, but that is all that it knows to do.
That is fine.
It's a start.
How far had I fallen at this point?
We'll say, how much do you fall on around in D&D?
I don't know, like 50 feet down?
I think there's like endless debates on this.
It's just your movement speed.
Except for when you're Keyleth and you're goldfishing.
It's
Then
true.
it's just kind of,
Then
you
you
spend
just
most
explode.
of it panicking and you just explode.
We'll just say 60 feet, for sake of simplicity.
Great.
Ingress, it is your turn. The wizard is on the platform with you guys now.
Yes, he is. I assume that dragon would like to take an attack of opportunity, correct?
If you leave its threatened area.
Yeah, I mean, I assume I'm going to be if I move over to flank with Gilderoy.
Yes.
So yeah, go for it.
It'll take a swipe with its claw, and that's a 23.
Which misses.
Alright, hasted AC on top of that.
Impossible.
And as I move away, it misses because I hoist the shield onto my back. And I'm gonna lay into this fucker.
Yeah.
Take off of my shield. Reckless attack.
Don't have to because you're flanking, right?
That's right, I don't.
Give him the old Ingrith Walrus special.
Right.
Reckless attack
Except
last
this time
right?
it's Ingress Gilderoy, the most
Correct,
unlikely
correct,
of
I did.
pair.
The MVP.
Would have been a 28 to hit then.
Okay.
So, 7 damage after rage reduction.
Okay. I assume that a 30 hits this dude?
It will.
I want you to crit so bad.
I do too.
So bad.
30 damage, and he doesn't have a reaction back yet, because he used that on the counter spell. 24.
I assume hits.
Yep.
So that's action and then hasted attack.
Yes. 27.
That's a lot of damage.
That is a lot of damage. Guy is not looking very good. He was not expecting to suddenly be teleported to the middle of the platform without reaction to defend himself.
Okay, that is my turn.
All right. On his turn, being surrounded. It's not a good time. He is going to cast Thunder Wave.
No.
So I'm gonna need. Vedita is actually out of it. But Gilderoy and Ingrith, Barnabas, and the other devils all need to make Constitution saves. Actually, is this guy out of it too? Yeah, that other one is too, actually. That is going to be a no for Gilderoy. Barnabas is good. This other devil is not. And what are we looking at for damage here at 4th level? Alright, 30 damage. This devil is exploded. Ingrith takes half of that for succeeding on the save. Barnabas also takes half. Gilderoy, you take 30 damage and you are thrown, is it 10 feet or 15 feet? 10 feet.
Gilderoy looks bad.
Because you are teetering right on the edge there, Gilderoy, I would like you to make me a dexterity save. If you didn't have... Oh no, you don't... Synaptic Static does not affect saves, so you don't have the -2. So 15 is just enough. You get blown back by this Thunder Wave and just manage to clutch onto the edge of this floating rock. Barnabas has finished the spell. You see all of the fiendish sigils around him light up, and he is holding like what looks like a ball of flame in his hand. But at least 2 of you aren't on the platform with him. He is going to hold on to the spell and not activate it just yet. You see he reaches, like he's holding the ball of flame in one hand, he reaches down to his belt, pulls out essentially like a fiendish sawed-off shotgun, and is going to shoot the wizard point blank.
Yeah.
And that will hit. He has had his turn, so he is going to... Oh, does he have any spell slots for that? He does not have any spell slots for the higher protection. Okay, he's just going to use shield to cause the attack to miss. As this gout of, like, dark iron shrapnel and flame shoots out of the shotgun.
It's just
and
like
deflects
teeth.
off of this shield.
I just picture that character in Pillars of Eternity, the furry one that does like the sorcery stuff, but he also has his blunderbusts with him.
One voiced by Liam.
Holy shit, is that Liam?
Yeah, the entire cast of Critical Role voices the main characters in Pillars.
I just didn't realize that one was Liam.
Yeah, Seraphim, the little pirate man.
Yeah, seriously? Alright, well I guess I'm gonna have to play that again.
All right. That is going to be Barnabas's turn. He is hurt, but he is holding out, hoping that you guys can get back here in time. The simulacra. The rock is no longer bothering this one. I think because the main one is in danger, they are both going to fly in a little closer. And Ingrith is the one who is beating the shit out of him, so they are both going to shoot Firebolt at Ingrith.
Okay.
You did not use Reckless last time because you had flanking,
Right.
Correct.
so a 14 and a 17 will not hit you.
Oh, thank God. Probably would have been the end of Ingrith.
Walrus, you are clutched in the talons of a rock.
Oh, what a hard place to be. I'm going to shamefully cast Command again on this rock. And I'm going to point to the platform and just say, return.
All right. This thing may be huge and strong, but it does not have a strong save against this.
That's the hope.
Now that is... What's your spell save DC again?
I don't know. How do I calculate that?
If you just go to your spell page, it has it kind of in the top right.
It's at 0 right now. It's being weird because I'm multi
Oh, right.
leveled, whatever.
Just change your spellcasting ability to Charisma. That's probably what it's messed up on. On the spell page. Yeah, right now it says none.
Spell save is
DC
15.
15. That is a failure for the rock.
Yes.
Once again, it seems like it is acknowledging your command.
I don't really have anything else that I can do. I really hate that I'm just wasting this haste of not doing anything. I'll lay on hands myself for 15.
There you go.
Nice. Those are my actions. Bonus action. I'm not gonna do anything. I'll just wait to ride up.
As you are sitting there in the rock's talons waiting for it to return you to the platform, your gaze once again returns to the scene unfolding below you. The Summer Lord caught between this Kraken and this fire giant on these two crumbling plains that are falling into the void. And you get to bear witness as the fire giant essentially, while trying to attack the Kraken, just because it is so massive, inadvertently thrusts its sword through the Summer Lord and kind of shish kebabs them into the Kraken's mouth.
Oh, yay.
Oh, Lord.
At which point, you suddenly have this little ping in your brain and a memory returning to you that you lost in the Feywild.
Yay!
Hey!
Oh, like a single tear drops down my cheek as I'm like, I'm either gonna die in this second or I'm gonna survive in this second. Who knows what'll happen? Maybe I can return home one day.
Indeed. Wisdom saving throw against the hold. Oh my god.
Yep, that's me.
I mean, at least you're in range for Vic to teleport out.
I mean,
That's
sure.
the only positive I can think of on that one.
This has not been your fight.
Spot.
No,
It could be worse.
I literally have a plan. that I'm like, okay.
It's the beholder fight all over again. Except
Yeah.
it's you. You're stuck.
This is one of the reasons why I'm not a fan of the strong crowd control effects in this game, because it's just, if you spend a whole combat held, like, that's not fun.
Is it concentration at all for anybody?
One
Or
of
he
them.
hasn't
Thi-
been
this is the
really
guy-
hit?
concentration.
Yeah, okay.
This is the guy that's
Cool.
concentrating. Arcane Dragon's turn. Does not want to use its breath weapon since the wizard is there, so it's just going to continue to attack Ingrith. What is a 26 to hit on the first one?
Mm-hmm.
So the bite attack does 10 piercing damage and 10 cold damage.
Okay.
And then the follow-up claw attack, that is a 23.
I will block it.
Alright, you block the follow-up attack. It occurs to you in this moment as you are on this floating rock in all this chaos and all these other places colliding around. This scene that's unfolding before you, Ingrith,
Mm-hmm.
kind of reminds you of descriptions of the realm of Isgard, where Valhalla is. That is also supposed to be just kind of this chaotic maelstrom of all these different places floating around, colliding into each other. As much as it's uncertain if this is going to go your way or not, there's just a tiny bit of, you can call it a comfort or a thrill in experiencing
died
something that
well.
feels a bit like the afterlife.
Yeah.
Gilderoy,
Gilderoy's gonna run up to the wizard.
it is going to be half your movement to clamber back up the ledge
Okay.
that you are just barely clinging onto.
I can still make it.
Yep.
Okay. And then I'm going to pull out the scroll of mass cure wounds. At 5th level, mass cure wounds. And that's going to be 20 healing to Ingrith, Barnabas, Vedita, Walrus, and Gilderoy.
Walrus is
Clutch.
not in range because he is currently in
is.
the.
Oh, so the clutches? It's 60
he is-
feet.
He is further down than that until the rock flies him up. Like,
Damn it.
I'll tell you what. Since the rock goes right after you, and it has a bajillion fucking movement speed, I will say that this happens kind of simultaneously. That you are getting ready to cast the spell, you can't see Walrus, and all of a sudden, the whooshing sound of the wings of this rock as it flies up and drops him off on the edge of the platform as you're casting the spell. So you
Okay.
are able to get him in it.
Whew, okay.
Clutch.
20 HP to everybody then. And
Okay.
Including Barnabas, right?
including Barnabas. And I am
Gee,
flanking Ingrith
me.
and the wizard.
Sweet.
And that is all Gilderoy can do.
All right, that is Gilderoy and the rock's turn. Ingrith.
Okay. Come on, Yahtzee.
"27 will hit. Yeah, even with the shield that he had up from Barnabas, that'll still hit.
Okay.
That's 31 damage. He is looking very hurt.
Good. Does the 24 hit?
24 will hit. If he rolled one lower, he would have blocked it.
Okay.
"34 damage.
Oh,
Your very last strike, you feel with certainty would have been lethal, is just barely deflected by this magic shield he's got up.
damn it.
That's annoying.
So annoying. That's my turn.
All right, the wizard's turn. What does this man have left that he can do? Like, he can teleport away, but then he's just gonna die.
What is he concentrating on?
Telekinesis. The spell he used to throw you. And if not for the fact that he has very good concentration, he would have lost that to all these hits from Ingrid.
Got it.
And then this one is maintaining the dragon. This one is holding Vidita. All right, yeah, I think seeing that things don't look like they are going his way and just feeling fucking pissed about the end of his great creation and all of the awesome stuff that he was doing here, he is just gonna try to take all of you with him, essentially. He is gonna cast Circle of Death on where he is standing.
Gilderoy's gonna use Counterspell at 6th level.
This simulacra is going to attempt to counterspell you. It does not have a high enough spell slot level to automatically succeed, so it is going to roll here.
I would counterspell if I could. It's fine.
You casting at 6th level, you said?
Yes.
Alright, so he needs to get a 16.
I say counterspell to try to distract that simulacra from casting it.
That is an 18 he gets.
Damn it.
So let's see what happens. Random creature nearby is healed. The rock gets healed a little bit by this errant magical energy that shoots out.
It did a great job saving my life.
Spell
But
still goes off then, yeah.
Spell still goes off. Your counterspell is countered by the simulacra. And the range on Circle of Death is fucking huge, so everybody needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
I'm going to use my inspiration for that. Cool.
That other bearded devil does not make it. Let's see, Barnabas. Barnabas gets a 31. Barnabas is good. Okay, I don't think any of you made it then, right? Because the highest 21 on Ingrid is not going to do it. Okay, so the Circle of Death goes off. This wave of shadow energy pulses out from essentially where the wizard is standing. He himself is reduced to a blackened corpse as he only had 24 hit points left.
Oh, it hits
And-
him too.
Yeah.
Good.
Where is the thingy that I had for this? Hold on.
Death Ward brings you back to 1 hit point, correct?
Correct.
Gilderoy is down, then goes back to 1 hit point.
As this wave of death energy goes out, him attempting to take all of you with him and not succeeding. He is left a blackened corpse, and both of the simulacra just kind of stop working as the person that created them is gone. Vedita, you are no longer held as the simulacra are gone.
Oh, thank fuck.
However, you are blown to bits.
Right.
Right.
Barnabas looks at you all satisfied and kind of beckons you guys to step closer as he looks like he's about to like slam this ball of flame in his hand down to finish the spell. But he does take one last parting look at the corpse of the wizard at his feet. So long, Benny boy. And as that happens, I am going to need everybody to make a strength saving throw.
So wait, did we take that 30 damage?
Yes, the spell goes
Okay.
off. You all take the 30 damage. That's why Gilderoy's at 1 hit point, because his death ward saved him.
You said a strength saving throw?
Yep.
Do I still have Bane on me?
Oh, fuck me.
You do, because that happened to you like halfway through the combat, and it lasts for a full minute. The DC was only a 10.
Could I have lunged for Gilderoy?
I'm gonna say no in this moment, because essentially what happens is Barnabas is, time kind of slows down as he is slowly moving his hand down, throwing the sphere of flame at the ground to finish the teleportation. As that happens, other realms that are colliding and collapsing slam into the one that you guys are on and cause it to suddenly spin out of control a little bit. Gilderoy, you lose your footing and you are flung into the void as Barnabas manages to complete the spell, and all of your companions are surrounded by a gout of flame and teleported away.
Oh no!
With me being big boy walrus, I couldn't have tried to grab him in any sort of a way.
And I
I'm
couldn't
gonna
have used
say
the cloak
no.
to teleport.
Ooh, you do have the cape.
Uh-huh. I would have used the teleport to literally go into Walrus's arms. Not gonna lie.
I got you, boo.
Be like, save me!
I will allow that, as in bullet time here, as you get flung off and Barnabas, he can't stop what he's doing. He's already unleashed the ball of flame from his hand, and it's slowly flying towards the ground, about to activate. You use the cape to teleport to Walrus and
Yes.
his big, meaty arms in his current
Barely.
form, and you are all surrounded by flame and pulled into this teleportation with Barnabas.
Whew, quick thinking.
Oh, thank fuck.
Barely squeaked by there.
Congratulations, guys! You managed to
Yay!
survive.
Huzzah!
Well, at least that bit.
You guys are
yes.
standing on a platform surrounded by fire, and you have that feeling of like when an elevator is descending. It's that kind of uneasy feeling in your stomach, as it almost looks like when you're going really fast in a train or a car or something and stuff is just rushing by you, but it's so imperceptible you can't make out the detail. It just looks like things filtered through red. Barnabas just heaves a big sigh of relief. Well, that could have gone a little smoother, I must say.
Could have gone worse.
Yeah, we.
So we're out of there.
Yeah.
You are indeed, my friends.
And now we're in the hells, obviously.
Oh, we're just passing through. I'll be getting you home here shortly. But, you know, all the infrastructure is designed to flow through, so...
Weird question. Do we still have all of, like, our gear that we collected in the realm?
You do. Though you would all notice about maybe a minute into this, like, hellish elevator journey, you all hear a cracking sound,
Oh no.
and you notice that all of your golden elixirs have become inert, because the realm that they are tied to no longer exists.
Very true.
There is a sudden lurch as the momentum where you're going stops. And there is a stronger burst of flame. And suddenly, you guys are standing in an alleyway in a city. You can hear sound of voices around you. Here you are.
Where is here?
I believe you recognize it. And he points down a street, and you always notice it. You're honestly not that far from the actual tavern that you have been meeting in a dream facsimile of
Oh shit.
back in the city of Waterdeep.
Oh, the one that he would bring us to in the... Okay.
Yeah, that was essentially a dream fabrication of a real place that you had been to before in the city of Waterdeep. He's brought you all to the city of Waterdeep in some kind of like back alley crossroads.
Well,
I'm like
shit.
looking around, and I like go reach down and touch the ground and kind of touch the cobblestone or the rocks, pick up a handful.
It feels just like you remember it.
I didn't know if I'd ever return.
I'm surprised we all made it. Fuck.
Very nearly didn't there at the end.
Yeah. Yeah.
I must say, Mr. Lockhart, I am glad that you managed such a feat. Otherwise, we would not have your services as we are coming to expect in the coming days.
I
Yes,
mean-
that's right.
I have a few questions.
Yeah, we kind of did just throw you into that, didn't we?
Uh-huh.
Sorry?
So, one, what the fuck just happened? Two, services? What are you, a prostitute now?
Well,
I mean,
He kind of like smiles at Gilderoy. He's like, I'll leave you all to sort out your little discussion here. We'll be in touch, Mr. Lockhart. And he just kind of like tips an invisible hat to you,
What did
And-
you do?
walks off down the street, and casts a spell to change his form. And he just changes into indistinguishable from any other vagrant walking down the street.
we'll start from the beginning. Walrus, I think you're the best to explain this, honestly.
yeah. Do we want to sit down, grab
Have
a
a
drink
beer.
at this recognizable tavern to all of us, right? Because we've all been to the Dream Realm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
at some point we all have
I start walking towards the...
Does Ingrid
Tavern.
still not remember it at all, though?
There's a brief moment as you guys are walking towards the building where you're thinking like, I don't recognize this place, and suddenly that gap in your memory is removed. as the part of the contract that you'd signed, it's no longer relevant. The job is done. Barnabas gets rid of it.
I find us a table at the tavern, and I get the attention of someone attending the bar, and I grab a round of drinks and a pitcher.
It is absolutely crowded with people, most of whom do not pay you a whole lot of attention.
So we were approached by Barnabas and the devils to help them
It's
sort
starting
out.
to come back to me now.
You're getting it, trying to get rid of the wizard, make the thing disappear, because the wizard was taking more souls than the devils wanted, sort of deal.
So you thought
Yeah.
selling your own souls was a good bargain?
Not all of us sold our own souls.
It's unfortunately
Only-
just singular, not plural.
Yeah.
What did Vedita have to do again?
Gilderoy is the only person who specifically signed an extra thing. Gilderoy's thing
That's true.
was offering his services in exchange for getting Ingrid out, even though Ingrid was not part of the contract. The deal that Walrus and Vedita had was essentially, we'll help you guys get out of this deal with the wizard, and in exchange, you'll bring us to safety. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
So only Gilderoy sold his soul.
Correct.
But I thought I had something extra with the extra planner specialist dude. Either
Well,
way.
I just worked into the existing deal.
You had discussions with them, and I believe you specifically said that you weren't going to sign it until you talked to somebody. You did have that discussion, but you didn't come to a decision as to whether or not you were going to say yes to them helping you.
Oh,
Because
okay.
essentially, the extra planar specialist's suggestion was, well, you should just start drawing your power from somewhere else, like the Hells. And you said, let me think about it.
Oh, right.
So I repeat, and she turns to Gilderoy. What did you do? And why did you let him? You know he can't be trusted to make decisions on his own.
I negotiate my own contracts on occasion.
This was the first time that I'd heard Gilderoy offer to sacrifice himself in exchange for another. So I believed that Gilderoy had thought it through long and hard. So I didn't interfere.
In order for you to get out, I sold my services to the Hells
For a year, correct?
for 2 years,
2 years.
because Ingrid got out. The opportunity to get her out was a year, so
Oh,
no matter what,
gotcha.
it was a minimum of a year. So, to give you a chance, if you had fallen there, that's why I was asking you all those weird questions and having an existential crisis, as you like to put it. I was giving you the option of staying or going.
Well,
If you
I mean,
fell,
clearly it didn't matter.
it didn't matter, apparently.
You made the poor choice, regardless of my feelings on it.
I wanted to give you a chance. Everyone
don't-
deserves a second, or third, or fourth chance.
And you don't often accept help very kindly, let alone willingly.
No matter how insignificant we think our lives, we're important to somebody somewhere. And I learned that, and I'm happy that you are all safe. And
Well, I'm gonna make you miserable for the next 2 years.
I am totally
So-
fine with that. At least you're here to make me miserable.
You might regret that.
Eh, we'll see.
Idiot.
But apparently now I'm
Making
your
deals with
idiot.
devils. Jesus. Even I know better than that.
Do we remember from earlier conversations with Barnabas when he was offering about Ingrid's brother and stuff? Do those details, are those still recalled by us?
Yes, all of those details are still recalled. And I believe your guys' understanding of the situation, because I don't think that any of it was obscured from you, was that he essentially tried to blackmail her, saying like, if you don't say yes to this offer, then we're going to do bad things to your brother by calling in debts that he has to us. And Ingrid said, I don't care. So as far as you know, those ships have sailed.
Well, our separate ways then, yes? Or wherever.
You wish, idiot.
Do you guys want some dessert?
So,
I know
Just
a
a quick
decent
question.
bakery around town.
does Gilderoy have to go to the Nine Hells for 2 years?
That was not the impression you got from the deal. The
Okay.
impression that you got was that, I mean, it's not uncommon for devils to have workings in the mortal world, and
Okay.
your status and celebrity is a useful tool for them.
Okay. Got it. Where's this bakery, Walrus?
Oh, it's just a few blocks down the road.
As much as Sneed was a help, do not miss his cooking.
Food wasn't great. It was mostly an establishment for drinks.
And I will never drink a screwdriver ever again.
Yeah. I mean, they were pretty good.
Mostly out of principle, I will not be drinking them ever again.
Yeah. So where are you going back to, Walrus?
I'm already back currently.
I mean, you live here?
Yeah, I'm
Huh.
born and raised in, around, under Waterdeep. Before I somehow fucking ended up with you guys.
Give me a perception check as you guys are having this conversation walking down the street. Walrus in particular.
Gilderoy's still too fucked up.
You noticed, Walrus. It's up to you whether or not you say anything. Ingrid would notice this as well on a 21. There is a scampy little kid that kind of like rushes past you guys, and Ingrid and Walrus, you both notice he steals some money off of Gilderoy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't say a word.
Joke's on him, I had 1 gold to my name.
He happily took the coin purse, regardless of knowing of its contents.
Gilderoy is fucking flat broke, y'all.
He doesn't need money where he's going.
Thanks.
Oh.
And you guys head a few blocks over to this lovely little bakery that Walrus knows.
That just means you get to pay for me, Walrus.
Yeah,
How
I'll
nice of you.
I'll cover the tab. My pleasure. Walk inside. Take in the aroma for the first time in months, years, who knows.
I want like 10 bear claws.
At
Yeah.
least.
You step
The small
inside,
dozen.
and the person behind the counter you don't recognize. It's kind of this like younger dwarf man.
Kind of give him a weird look, and then walk forward. Good afternoon. What time is it? Midday here right now.
No, it's evening actually.
Good evening.
Wait, what can I get you? Don't have a whole lot left for today. It's cheaper though.
This one is looking for a bag full of bear claws.
I've got a couple of those. Can't get you a whole bag.
Whatever you got's good. I'll take an assortment of some good breads, some muffins maybe.
Just
it-
all the sweet pastries that you can, please.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'd love some sweet bread.
He gets you guys an assortment of stuff. Put in a good word for me, would you? Don't want the boss to think that I'm not treating customers right,
Are you a new hire?
I've been here for a couple months, but my shift's about to end, so
Where's the owner?
she'll be down momentarily, I think. I'm just gonna go let her know I'm taking off.
Yeah. Is there like a table or something that we can hang out at for a minute, or is it
There-
standing room only?
It's more like there's a little like waiting bench. But there's enough room for all of you guys to sit there awkwardly and wait.
I'll pay the bill, whatever it is. I'll double whatever the price of it was.
That's mighty generous of you.
Yeah, you can tell the boss it was because of your excellent service.
Well, I mean, she's not going to take that from me. You'll have to let her know yourself. But he takes money, essentially hangs up his apron, is ready to leave, goes out to like this back room where you guys can't see stuff, and he takes off. And a few minutes later, this older human woman with her hair in a braid comes down. Okay, we are going to be closing up here shortly, so... And her eyes lock onto you, Loris.
Kind of give a slight, not curt nod, just a generous nod, brief smile. Say the new guy's good.
Yeah, business has been better lately. Finally got some extra help around here.
That's good. And
She's
I'll,
kind of like staring at you with a mixture of awe and a little bit of fear.
I'll walk towards her and get, within like a foot, and then just pick her up in a big hug.
He immediately just grabs you in a huge hug in return.
Hey, Mom.
Hey.
Aww.
Are you back for good?
Yeah. Don't plan on going anywhere anytime soon. These are
Kind of a shame that I've already hired somebody. I don't really need an extra hand right now.
Oh, I'd be happy to help. Or just sit and talk and judge whatever his name was.
Yeah, he's actually pretty good.
Oh, that's good. You deserve the help.
Sounds pretty good
I'm
at
sorry.
judging.
She turns to the three of you. Sorry, did you need help with anything before we close up? Kind of wipes a few tears away from her eyes.
These are my friends.
We're actually his
Oh.
parole officers.
Well, friends is a loose term.
Hey!
They help me get back.
I feel like I shouldn't ask for the details. 'Cause
Probably not, ma'am.
Wouldn't believe them if we told you, to
Yeah.
be honest.
Just be
We have-
happy that he's
But
back.
Gilderoy's got some books if you want them.
I mean, I will gladly give you signed copies of whatever the hell you want.
I'm just gonna do a roll for her
See if she's a fan of Gilderoy Lockhart.
to see if she knows who you are. I don't know that I've heard of you, but of course, having any sort of published author here would be lovely.
He's gotta go on a book tour pretty soon, so I don't think you'll see him around.
She goes over and puts like the closed sign on the door and says, "How about I go make something special for the occasion?"
That sounds great to me.
You're all welcome to come inside, of course.
I look back at the group.
Don't see why not.
For a little bit.
I think Walrus should help you cook dinner. It's
Yes,
only fair.
absolutely.
You guys all follow as she takes you like out of the bakery in this little like makeshift hallway built into the back that leads into her home, and she has you guys sit down as her and Walrus start making some lovely fresh baked desserts in the kitchen.
I would have taken off my weapons and different gear that would make me seem
Oh yeah, like as
heavily
soon as
armored, or like
as soon as you're walking in, she's like, "No swords in the kitchen, please."
So you're telling me this entire time we were eating like dry, gross bread, Walrus could have been making us fresh bread?
I never
I
quite
feel cheated.
betrayed. Some of my adventures in baking weren't as well received, but I can help out.
I mean, I think if you'd taken more of interest when you were younger, it wouldn't have been so bad.
You know, that's a good point. I've taken interest in other things, and I've been pretty good at those.
She just kind of gives you the eye of like, is that something that we should be talking about in front of these people?
I kind of roll my eyes back at her and give a little chuckle. We've got all the time in the world now.
Well, tell you what, why don't you start layering the butter into that one there?
I do that.
You guys make some absolutely delicious pies as you guys sit around and discuss whatever you guys want to discuss.
Well-
So,
Ingrid, Vedita, what are your guys' next steps?
well, I need to figure out my powers still, so think I'll be doing that somewhere else. Figure out what other source of power I can draw on. Because, you know, I kind of don't want to have a giant ball of darkness just consume the world, so yeah,
That would not be ideal.
no, generally not.
I'd be happy to help in whatever way I can after a week or so, at least here.
Absolutely.
I need to take that long rest.
At least one, yes. No, that's fine. I'll explore the city, go somewhere, I don't know. What about you, Ingrith?
Well, I'm going with this ding dong. At least for 2 years.
Mm,
To remind me how stupid I am every single day.
That's right.
Oh, I give her at least a month before she's sick of me.
Oh, before she tries to kill you.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a safe bet.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Very safe kids.
Wanting to protect you is one thing, but eventually those devils are gonna have to protect you from me, so.
I would love to see that fight. Rooting for you, of course.
Oh, I'm sure.
No, really.
Uh-huh. This is not the leaving voice.
Uh-huh.
I always think I'm lying.
I
I
mean,
mean-
you did leave me for dead.
Yes, the one time. I also saved you guys a few times. Like to think.
Yeah.
I feel like that balances out the one.
He's a very mixed bag, Gilderoy.
Yes.
It is. We're just not going to open that can of worms.
Uh-huh.
Depended on the day.
Depended on the day and how I felt.
Mm-hmm.
I would say you get about a week of respite of being back in the world before you are approached by some fiendish agents letting you know that it is time to begin your tenure.
All right.
Unless you'd rather it be called a residency.
I think I'll
I'm-
take tenure.
Don't know enough about medical lingo to actually continue the jokes.
I was thinking more like an artistic residency at this place as the writer or the speaker.
An artistic residency. Uh-huh.
That's
The
one
first
way
thing
of putting it, yeah.
that they would like you to do is to do something to sort of rekindle your fame to start luring people in. So did you have a book?
I did. I wrote a book, and actually, while we were having dinner with Walrus's family, Gilderoy wrote the opening paragraphs and didn't show anybody, and they wouldn't have read any of it until he published it. Which I think he would probably be writing like mad that first week to finish it. I did write out the first few paragraphs, guys, so bear with me.
Ooh.
Heroes. Some will have parades in their name, songs of their deeds sung across the land, and some will even have stories written of their bravery to be read for generations to come. But what makes a hero's story worth telling? Well, I know three brave souls whose stories would not otherwise have been told, but were ones that I had the honor of witnessing firsthand. For I am not the hero of this story, but I am but a, admittedly, less than humble player in these tales. The story of an honest rogue with a sense of duty and honor, a cunning sorceress whose beauty shone through every face she looked through, and a fearless fighter whose bravery, even in the face of death, never faltered. Their stories, dear readers, are tales this writer feels are worthy of the parades, songs sung by bards across seas, and read for generations to come. Their stories are worth telling.
Aw.
Oh,
I love it.
yeah.
What's it called?
Yeah, did you come up with a title for this one?
3 idiots and a bard.
Yeah, that
Oh
makes
my
sense.
I love it.
It's gotta sound
Track.
There is like an hour or two long discussion the very first time you have a meeting with essentially your hellish agent
publicist.
reads through this first draft and is just like, no, we cannot sell a book in which you are not the star. This is the opposite of what we want. But you manage to convince them over the course of a couple hours, like, no, because it's so different, it's going to bring in more people, and this is an angle that people are going to go for.
Can I, for the hell of it, do a persuasion check with advantage or something?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, on a 27, that will be more than enough.
Gotta love that plus 15.
Mm-hmm.
I had to use it once.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
yeah.
unless anybody has anything else in your epilogue, that's probably the last roll that we're gonna need.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
That's crazy. 3 years.
Yeah.
How many episodes?
This is season 4, episode 7. I have no idea how many total.
I don't think we got to 100, but we're like 60 or 70 or 80, something like that.
No, we're only 48.
Jeez.
Are you sure?
What?
48,
That
maybe,
doesn't sound
maybe,
right.
maybe 60 because we started at session 6.
I thought we made it to 50.
Oh yeah, it's 50.
I believe it's more. If you're looking at like the playlist and counting the number of videos, I think
Yeah.
that's inaccurate because I think there's some missing.
Yeah.
I'd like to thank you all for putting up with me as I have, laid one track in front of the other, just making this shit up.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Practicing GMing because I hadn't really done a whole lot before this aside from one shots.
Really?
I mean, I think it should be us thanking you for taking
Yes.
this on when I said, hey, who wants to play a game?
Right.
Yeah, thank
so,
you.
Thank you. It was,
For putting up
Yeah.
our
good.
shenanigans. our,
Right.
our
All our bullshit.
shenanigans and craziness and ridiculousness. And letting me play a character from Harry Potter.
Yeah, I've had a wonderful time. I wouldn't
Mhm.
have changed anything. This was incredible.
Yeah, it was great.
I'll never look at Gilderoy Lockhart the same ever again. Damn it.
Right?
I'm gonna actually think he has a heart, and that kind of makes me go twitch a little bit. I'm like, fuck.
Oh.
He's
A
got a
different
heart.
version
guys.
of him.
A
in
different
another
version.
universe.
In a different universe.
Yes.
I absolutely. I loved that decision moment to leave them because, like, oh, yes, this is who Gilderoy is deep down, isn't it?
Yeah, I had it
When we sit
internally
down,
because I
who's
was
gonna
like,
run?
oh.
Yeah,
I
that
know.
was a good moment.
Yeah.
I kept a spell slot every single battle to do that. And it never came
Really?
up that Gilderoy had to run,
Except for that one time.
except for that one time. And I was like, well, I saved the spell slot for a reason.
Oh my goodness.
Could have healed everybody, but nope.
Bye!
Peace.
I love how during our last fight and everything, I didn't use my channel divinity at all.
See,
The only
Oh,
day
yeah.
since having it that I haven't used it.
Yeah.
You certainly made very good use of that.
Mm-hmm.
I did.
To a great effect.
yeah.
I had to calculate that into every encounter design. I was like, can this thing survive being stabbed by Walrus's billion damage attack?
Can it survive one to then wreck shit out after? Thanks for homebrewing that subclass. I loved it.
Mildly disappointed that you didn't end up getting higher levels in it. It could have been funny as hell when you got to like haste and fireball.
Yeah, if I had those, that would have been interesting.
Oh
Mm.
god.
I don't know what I'm gonna do now.
On my-
Right?
Yeah, I don't.
either.
I agonized for a good amount of time of like, how am I going to do this last thing of floating on chunks of rock in space? I was like, should I try using, was it Tailspire to like make a 3D map and then
Oh,
just
yeah.
broadcast it? Should I try to like mock up 3D models to show what I'm doing?
Oh,
Should I use styrofoam?
Oh man.
Toothpicks and marshmallows.
Balsa wood.
Right.
I did briefly think like it would be so much easier to illustrate like a cracked tower floating parallel if I just had like styrofoam. Like it's so
Yeah.
much work for just one thing now.
Yeah.
The use of roll 20 was excellent throughout.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I forget. Have you used Fantasy Grounds? I don't know what else you've done besides this.
Yeah, just for Ree's one shot and
Yeah. Very
yeah, a
briefly.
handful of times.
Yeah.
Different, pros and cons of each platform.
Yeah.
It handles the automation of a lot of the number crunching so much better, but
Yeah.
other
It
things
has
about it I
other
don't like.
flaws. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the coding is much better in Fantasy Grounds, but it definitely has its drawbacks sometimes too.
I'm still really hoping that they end up putting in a lot of good work into Tailspire, and then it becomes
Yeah, I kind of am too.
easier to use and worth using because being able to make the 3D multi-level maps is just so cool.
Yeah.
I remember when we did that one where I tried having the multi-level canyon map with all the orcs, and people kept having to
Oh,
ask,
yeah.
like how it functions. I'm like, oh god, this is so much more complicated than I thought.
Yeah.
That was a terrifying episode.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
There were so many fucking things charging through that.
Yup.
We've had a few.
That was
Yeah,
before
okay,
we
we've
had
had a
fancy
lot.
shit though.
Yeah, we had a lot of close calls, guys. We really did.
Yeah, there was one where we were fighting in like a graveyard or like a summoning circle with that adamantine donut thing.
Oh yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
That one was freaky.
The Beholder battle is always the one that sticks out in my head.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think Ingrid was like charmed or something and was beating the shit out of Adita. And Walrus was frozen.
Yup.
Yep.
Well, I would be interested in hearing your guys' perspective, but I still do feel like the Beholder fight was the best encounter that I ran. I look back and I'm like, yeah, that played out exactly how I wanted it to, and the build up and the actual fight.
Mm.
Like, yes, this
Yeah.
is very atmospheric, and the battle was just as tense as I wanted it to be.
I remember the description of walking through the different layers before we actually got to the Beholder. I remember that pretty vividly. That was really cool.
Yeah, because that's when it was like looking off the thing and there's like space all around us, kind of.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah, that was the middle section before you got to the laboratory.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was definitely a good encounter.
I was thinking about that the other day actually, because I'm playing Dragon Age Inquisition through again, and I was in the section where they drop into the Fade.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh,
And I was
Fade is
like-
so cool.
Yeah.
I'm always confused when I hear people being like, "Oh, I hate playing through the Fade," and I'm like, "What are you talking about? That
Oh,
section of the
it
game
is
is
so
awesome."
Cool. Yeah.
I like it in 2 as well.
Yeah.
Like in 2, it's trippy as fuck.
My original plan that I still want to do at some point is I was planning on having the Beholder be spider themed. I wanted it to essentially be a giant spider with eyes on the end of its legs,
No, thank you.
and a layer composed of like black goo webs, kind of like Venom.
Ugh, cool.
How dare you?
Ugh.
How dare you give me that image?
No. Hell no.
You can find all kinds of cool Beholder art, but I couldn't find any bug-themed Beholders.
That's bizarre.
Ugh. Nope.
Still don't know how I feel about the swarm enemies. Like, they definitely clean things up in terms of I don't have to have 30 enemies on the board, but
Mhm.
they just function a little weird.
You're talking like the zombies and skeletons and
Yeah, I think it was mostly them that you guys fought as hordes.
I feel like on the player side it was. I mean,
it was easier
Yeah.
because we're
Yeah.
just attacking one target and then it's just
Visually,
Yeah.
it was a lot
Tom-
easier.
Yeah.
And probably easier to run too, so you don't have as many tokens and shit.
Yeah.
Spell wise,
Easier
it
to
was
run.
nice. Because then you didn't have to be like, okay, well, this spear over one giant blob
Yeah.
was easier than multiple little ones. For spellcasting, anyway.
I did like all the good items that we found throughout.
Yeah.
hmm hmm
There's some, were they mostly homebrewed, like the armors and weapons and things?
I am basically everything I made a handout for was just stuff I made up. Almost everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a lot of cool homebrew shit there.
Obviously, the item that I ended up liking the most was the lightning axe. You know,
hmm
just inadvertently that became my favorite, so that's why it had the most things on it.
Mhm.
That was fun though.
I wish I had gotten to use that staff one last time in that last fight. I was gonna cast
Yeah.
Disintegrate on him at 9th level.
I'm
That was
sorry
my
that
whole
you
plan.
got hit by the hold and then didn't get out of it.
The whole fight, yep.
That would have solved so many problems.
It would have.
That would have been game changing.
I know.
I wouldn't have been spending the whole fight trying to not fall.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what would have happened if that command didn't work either time.
You would have
Gilderoy
been
had a
gone.
plan to jump after you.
Dimension or jump and then Dimension Doris back.
Yeah.
Mm.
Because I had enough spells because I kept my Dimension Door, because that's what to do. Or I was going to polymorph, drop polymorph, and Dimension Doris.
Oh, I forgot about polymorph. See,
I
before
had that too.
before he actually successfully flung me off, my plan for my next turn was to grab the cape from Gilderoy and then run and jump off, attack the wizard, and then as I was falling, Dimension Door on top of him again so I can attack him on my next turn.
Mm.
And then
That's some
quickly did
portal
not
shit.
happen.
I
Yeah.
was trying to dispel magic, but every time I was going to dispel magic on the guy holding Bedita, something else worse
Damn
came up,
it.
and I was like, well, fuck!
You should have. I would have been in the game then, so that I could have helped you.
Well, it was like, oh, I'm down to 3 hit points. Fuck.
There was a lot of
There
stuff
was
going
walrus.
on, and you only get the one action per turn to decide how you respond.
I
Man,
had
I started-
heal.
I started that fight with like 80 hit points too, and then you quickly dropped me down to like 10 in the first round.
Gilderoy almost just
Fresh body copy with time stop and other spells. He was ready to unleash some damage.
And
Mhm.
he did.
Prismatic Spray, though, I'm going to use that from now on. If I ever get a 7th level bard spell again, I'm using that constantly.
Noted.
Such a cool spell. Unfortunately, you do kind of have to okay, we're pausing the game and taking 15 minutes to resolve this spell.
Mhm.
Because it's so insane.
Yeah. It is. And I feel
You
bad for
get-
every DM if I ever use it for them.
You hit that guy with 3 sprays and he just insta-melted.
Yep. Oof. That was a 7th level spell burnt quick.
Stuff like that hold person, though, it's like the main reason why I always hesitate to make creatures that have hard crowd control or use them. Because it's just not that fun.
Yeah, it just like cripples the whole party. Well, between that and then
Oh.
Synaptic Static at the same time.
And there's more interesting ways, I feel, to cripple the party other than you don't get to do anything.
Right, your whole turn is just hoping you can get out of it.
Like Synaptic Static, at least, is you take some damage and you have a debuff that, affects your rolls. But you still get to do things. You still get to move and attack.
And you can still save from it after your turn, after you take a turn.
Mm. We were in what? Session 3 when Ingrid died.
Yeah, it was early on.
It was very early.
Almost up to 10. I don't think we're quite at 10.
That was a good time.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
We thought we
So,
were so smart putting our
weird
tanks right at the door.
By comparison,
Right?
because the other group that I'm running, I think they're level 5 now. We did Lost Mines. And I think I killed every single member of the party except one.
What's Lost Mines?
It's like the starter adventure. It's designed for levels 1 to 4. It's like kind of baby's first D&D module.
And you killed almost all of them already.
Yep. Of the, I think it was 5 people in the party. I believe only one of them did not get killed.
They
I mean,
probably deserved it.
They had the capability of like revivify and stuff, so they did manage to live via some scrolls and stuff. But
you got them.
I got them. I wasn't even necessarily trying to.
You're just so good.
I mean, one of them straight up dum-dum. He's like, I'm going to put myself in dangerous situations where the party can't help me. And everybody's like, are you sure about that?
Which one did that?
Devin, repeatedly. When they, you remember the castle where you were captured, right?
Yeah.
There was that, like, southeast tower. Had an owl bear in it. And he likes animals, so of course his reaction to seeing there's an owlbear is like, oh, well, I'm gonna sneak inside that tower and talk to it.
Yeah.
And there was a series of rolls which was like, this is a captive animal that is very mad, and you did not roll well enough to make it not think of you as a threat.
Yeah.
He went in there anyway, and then his whole party's like, we don't have any way to get in there and help him.
It's fine.
Yeah, I remember. I picked up on the vibe that there was definitely the vibe of this is not the first time this guy's done this. Really?
Absolutely not. In the previous section of underneath the manor house in the bandit hideout, there's like a monster that was kind of like helping the bandits in exchange for food. And he straight up like, the party has taken out most of the enemies at this point. They've split up to look after some leads. And he runs back to the monster pit and aggroes it alone.
Why? Okay.
He's a little chaotic stupid, you know?
Yo.
He's switching it up to play a paladin when we start Tomb of Annihilation, so we'll see how that goes.
That's
the
hard.
character that I was supposed to be,
Yep.
like the squire to, right? Or something like that.
Yeah, you were going to be his companion in the little arena fight.
Okay.
Well, I'm kind of going back and forth on as to whether or not I want to do it, because you probably saw in the chat that we didn't end up playing last week because a couple people had stuff come up.
Yeah.
So I'm like, should we still do that intro? Because if we do that, then we're doing it without the fighter, because he's already in Jolt.
Tomb of Annihilation is hard.
Are you playing it now?
I did for a little bit. That's what
That's what Blaze was running, right?
Yeah, that's what I convinced Blaze to run, and then he had all of his friends in there and playing, and they just like fuck around the whole time or not show up half the week. So I'm just like, yeah, later, guys. I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah, I was wondering what happened with that.
Yeah, they were like weird and flaky, and then just goofing off a lot of the time and not like playing the game in any sort of like real way.
Yeah.
This isn't fun.
I don't get that. Like, I've got at least one friend that I really want to play games with, but every single time I've invited him to play, he just usually just doesn't show up.
Yeah, it's dumb. And then
feel like
Blaze wasn't doing anything to like reel him in.
Yeah.
He was like, involved in it as well.
That's why, like, you gotta have like a section of time at the beginning that you can just talk to each other for a minute and then jump in.
Right. Yeah, we were probably a third of the way through it.
That's pretty far. I mean, decent amount.
Yeah. But yeah, that's a fucking hard campaign.
Yeah.
So you're stuck in the woods, in the mystery woods the whole time.
Well, I know if I never see a dungeon ever again in my life, I will be very happy.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm over dungeons for a while, which is why you guys have not been in a dungeon.
thank God. I think all
Like,
of us are just
nah.
like, no more dungeons. Just
Like
no.
even the Hag's House last night was too much for me.
It's
Where I
too
was like,
claustrophobic.
I'm like, nah.
We've gotten D&D claustrophobic at this point.
Yeah.
My problem on the DM side of dungeons is I always get caught in this headspace. I'm like, dungeons don't make sense. Like the logistics. I'm like, okay, how are there all these things in this dungeon? How do they survive? Why do they live in these rooms next to each other?
The rabbit
Right.
hole.
Who put this zoo together?
What has this dragon been eating for the last 15,000 years?
Right?
Yeah. How is it 15 levels underground in a cave by itself, surrounded by things that are hostile to it?
Yeah.
Magic.
Yeah.
Magic.
I think you guys only ended up really doing like one proper dungeon in this, right? The Sunken Barrel.
Mm.
I think so.
That's the only one I remember making. Oh, I guess the orc caves
Oh yeah.
was kind of a dungeon.
Mm.
So you
Were
guys
we in the
only ended up
sewer at
visiting,
one point? We were in
Oh
a
yeah, the
sewer
Baldur's
too.
Sewers.
but that wasn't like a huge full
No.
dungeon. That was just
Absolutely
like I had an encounter or two planned down there, and I just
Yeah.
made small encounter maps. Whereas the orc stuff, I had like a whole bunch of locations, and you guys skipped half of them.
Did we?
Yep.
No, there was like a whole barracks area full of a whole bunch of soldiers that you guys circumvented.
Oh hell yeah.
And there's other things that I'm sure that we took the long way around. The most difficult possible way.
Yeah, what were some of the stupidest decisions that we made as a group?
Yes.
Please tell us all the ways that you were surprised and like why the fuck are they doing this?
I really expected you guys to go for a heist with trying to get the acorn out of the tree in the Feywild. Like, oh, we've got the Shadow Sorcerer and the Thief in here. They're clearly just going to do a heist and steal it.
Nope.
Oh yeah.
Nope.
Can I get your autograph?
Yeah.
I mean, it worked.
It did.
Yeah.
Outfade the Fae.
Which I intentionally left all of those prompts for the things you guys needed to be a little vague, rather than having a specific solution to them. I was like, let's just see what these people come up with.
Yeah, that was
The
stressful.
surrender, the script,
Mhm. Yeah,
seeing his life's work.
those are tough decisions to make.
Oh,
Oh, as far as stupid things, the fight in the theater, I think, was one that was like there was a huge disconnect between what I had planned and thought I was going to go and what you guys are doing. Because you guys essentially just kind of stood there and like let him force you to kill each other. I'm like, why is nobody rolling to try and break out of this except for Gilderoy?
Yeah. I wasn't sure of the plan too much at that point.
Did we even have a plan?
no, we never did. Really, we would have a plan and then we'd fuck up the plan and then we'd go off on our
All
own.
of the times that we ended a session with you guys being like, okay, you guys have got a week to think about what you're going to do. You guys
Would
never
And we
came
never
up with a plan.
did.
I always had the intention to,
Best laid plans, you know.
and then I would just get high every night after work and not do anything important.
I mean, it's understandable. I think in the campaign that I did a few years back, it was like 50 sessions. We only really planned for the final encounter. That was like the only time I remember us messaging each other outside of the game to be like, okay, what are we going to buy in preparation for this?
Sure.
Mm.
We did good at getting items, specifically for things.
Mm-hmm. We spent our money well, I think.
I just kept getting items that, like, made future items go, is it worth it? No.
You were a big fan of that helmet. I was not expecting you
man.
to be as attached to that helmet as you were.
That perception bonus alone, I was like, I can see things.
Did it give you advantage on perception?
No, I think it gave me a huge bonus.
It made you proficient, I believe.
Oh, okay. Or was it... Did it add to my initiative as well?
Well, that's,
Or I don't
that's the
remember.
bonuses here.
It did something that I was like, oh yeah.
+5 to initiative, proficiency,
Yeah.
and
Oh, yeah.
perception.
Yeah,
and plus
that's
one
what
to
it
AC.
was. So it was just a real good combo from that helm.
I was not expecting for Walrus to become as tanky as he did. I thought for sure that the Glorious Protector armor that Gilderoy was going to want that.
Gilderoy did, but Walrus took it right away. Because Gilderoy's perception check was worse than Walrus, and Walrus got to see the armor first, and Walrus just grabbed it. That's what ended up happening.
That's legit. That sounds right.
I think the division of items in general, like aside from the shield and the axe, I figured Ingrid will probably take those. But I had thought, I mean, the Glorious Protector and the Rod of Ridiculous Power, they both belong to the Bard character, so I thought that Gilderoy would take them. But they ended up on 2 different people.
Yep.
That's funny.
And Gilderoy was fairly tanky when you think about it. I mean, 18 armor class.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
For
Valor
a
Bards
party
are
guard?
not squishy.
No, they are not. But lucky, man. I am so glad I took that feat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that helped.
I think by the time we ended, you guys were playing with the alternate rest rules longer than you played with the regular rest rules, right?
I think so.
I think
Yeah.
so.
Oh, the spell conservation, man. Oh,
That's rough.
was.
I mean, having more experience with D&D now than you did at the time, well, what's your guys' general opinion?
On the
It's
rest
definitely-
rules?
Yeah.
It's definitely something interesting to throw at like experienced players to
Mhm.
make them a little more on edge and more, so they don't get bored with playing D&D or like
Yeah.
passive. It's definitely a great way to get them more engaged and calculating in what they do.
Yeah, definitely.
Upped it from medium difficulty to hard.
I think
Makes you
from
dumb.
the melee side of it, it could probably honestly be restricted a little bit more. There was like maybe once where I was like, ooh boy, I'm running low on hit die. But for the most part, I was like, maybe it was because I had the barbarian dice for the majority of it. So that D12 getting hit points back was great. But I don't know. It felt like
probably is-
spellcasters.
Yeah, it's
Word.
probably the divide there. Because
Yeah.
spellcasters have to use hit dice to get spells back, which is a huge
Right.
thing.
Right.
It was hard to pick. Because I don't think Gilderoy was at maximum hit points more than maybe 10 episodes. I think that we
Wow.
had. And those were like just after long rests. But Gilderoy was almost never at full. He was probably always 3/4 or lower.
Okay.
And then always at like 0 hit dice also.
Right. I always had 0.
Yeah.
I always had a couple hit dice, pretty much. I don't think I was ever down to no hit dice.
The staff helped a lot.
Yeah. I mean, just like, again, I didn't have spells, so I wasn't fully aware of what was going on with that, but I feel like it could be restricted more on the melee side and loosened a little bit to be a little bit more forgiving on the spell side. At least for full casters.
But I don't know how to go about making
Yeah.
those changes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's,
I don't know
it's
how
a
you make
delicate
it.
system.
I don't know how you'd restrict the more melee combative characters, but
Yeah.
I agree though. Like it was much easier. 'cause
But I
just
mean, I guess.
rest and throw hit dice at myself and I'm good.
Yeah, like the double-edged sword is that it's probably not to say it's not important for your spellcaster to have hit points, but you want your tanks to have hit points too, so they can sit there and eat most of the damage. So
Yeah.
I don't know if it evens out that way or not. I mean, it worked well enough for us.
Hmm.
Probably only works if things go optimally, right? If your tanks actually take all the hits.
Yeah.
Whereas if your spellcaster gets hit by something, now they have to spend dice to get spells and hit points
Right.
back.
Right.
I don't know if somehow like throwing exhaustion points at melee characters would be some sort of like if you don't heal to max hit points on a short rest, then you get a level of exhaustion or something.
But I think for a first like solid trial run on it,
Oh yeah,
it functioned.
We didn't
For sure.
die.
Yeah,
Mhm.
like we had a few close calls. We were like, okay, we have to make some decisions on how I'm going to allocate this stuff. But
you definitely get good at balancing because you adjusted
Mhm.
combat encounters once we
Mhm.
switched over to these rest rules, right?
Yeah. And I enjoyed that from the DM side because it was like, oh, I can throw a few weak enemies at them and it's not meaningless because they can't just
Mhm.
take a short rest to get all their hit points back.
right,
It's actually wearing them down a little bit.
yeah,
Made us double think encounters too. Like, do we want to go
Yeah.
in this guns blazing, or do we
Mhm.
want to be like try and be diplomatic on it?
Yeah, it's definitely a very interesting, very good alternate system.
I think the shittiest part for the barbarian though was only having the 4 rages that last a minute at the lower level of barbarian, where it's like, okay, we're probably going to be going through a series of fights during this, this
Right,
day.
room after room.
Yeah, so how do I balance? Because if I don't rage, I'm eating hit points. But if I do rage, do I run out? So that I think was probably the hardest part for me, was determining when I should rage.
It probably didn't help either that I was invisible most of the time, so you were the only target.
You kind of took yourself out of the potential target.
Yeah, I would
Even
just
though
explode
You
people.
were tanky enough to take
Yeah.
the hits.
Mhm.
No,
But
I
nobody
mean,
ever hit you because you're not there.
it worked. I have a
The
feeling
mo-
that our spellcasters probably felt the brunt of that more than I did,
Sure, yeah, they definitely took hits.
Yeah.
because I had to
A lot.
spread the love there.
Until you took away that goddamn invisible armor and we killed that one hero,
Skull the fuck.
he dropped me.
Ooh.
Every combat we had with him, Gilderoy
Mhm.
dropped. Every
That
single
was-
time.
He was so much fun to throw against you guys.
God, I hated
That
him
one,
so
yeah.
much.
That guy was rough. Like, it was fun, but it was just like, oh god, no, this guy.
Like, please, let's knock him out first.
I will take any of the rest of them together, just not that one.
Just take him out.
That was
You
also
guys
a
ended
good-
up clearing through that way faster than I thought. Like my assumption was, oh, at some point I'm gonna have all 5 of the ghosts together, and it's gonna be, 5-on-5 fight. But you
Oh,
guys took them
God.
out really quickly.
The encounters with them were good. Like
Mhm.
when we were in that basement and there were like 4 of them. I don't remember what exactly we were doing, but there were like 4 of them, and it was fucking scary as shit.
When they
Mhm.
teleported into the tomb, or when you fought under the iceberg?
I think it was.
Iceberg.
Well, I was thinking the tomb specifically when they like came out of the wall and there were like 3. of
Oh
them.
yeah. And Gilderoy's in
Mm.
that one room by himself with the rogue.
Oh god.
Yeah. Yeah, because that we were also like spread out a little bit on that.
Yeah, we were really spread out with that. Like compared to normal.
I think that Balderon arc was probably my favorite. I really liked that one.
I agree.
Yeah.
It was
Agree.
hard, and it was very difficult to like decide what to do sometimes.
Mm-hmm. It was one of the few times in D&D that there were consequences for going one direction and not the other.
Right. Because we just had this list of like
Mhm.
4 different main quests to do.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys managed to do some side quests in there too.
Hmm.
Oof.
I'm still like, I respect that you guys took him out and then immediately killed him before he resurrected, but I was still mildly disappointed that I didn't get to have the epic showdown with the Lich inside the tomb.
Yeah. Yeah, we kind of.
Like, no, oh, you just straight up kill him out here, okay? And now you guys
It's
are gonna
okay
get
because
killed
the
if I lack-
zombies almost took us out. So
Mm.
so zombies themselves almost destroyed us.
Yeah, that was definitely a battle of desperation and fear.
There was some panic alting in there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, oh, very much.
Anita's sickening radiance came in so clutch in so many of those
Mm.
encounters.
Hmm.
That was pretty good.
Well,
I guess that's pretty much it. That's that.
Yeah.
The chapter is closed.
it was a pleasure playing with you all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I would happily play with any of you again.
It's
Same.
going to be an adjustment to not doing this on Monday nights anymore.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have to prep more stuff.
What
Mm.
is this?
Well, I mean, from someone who's also now running 2 games and occasionally a one-shot, I get it.
Yeah,
get
it does end up being a lot on the plate. Like, when I did
Yeah.
Lost Minds for the other group, it was, like, oh, this is a really small, simple module. It's fine. But
Like, it's fun.
starting to move Annihilation now, it's going to be a bit more work.
Yeah. Like, I'm having fun with it, but yeah, it's work.
Time suck.
To be fair, I don't have a life, so what else am I gonna do? Stare at my cat?
Yes.
I mean, that's also fun, but sometimes she gets that look in her eye, and I'm like, you're about to lunge at my face, aren't you?
We're about to eat my eyes.
Well, I don't remember if I ever specifically asked you guys, but the golden elixirs, very early on, I was like, I don't want them to have to constantly spend gold buying healing potions over and over. I'm just going to give them a refilling healing potion. That'll make things easier.
That helped a lot,
hmm
Yeah.
especially with hit die
Yeah.
with
Yeah,
spellcasting. Like that was what saved us as far as spellcasters go.
Oh, I remember early sessions when I would just be like, "Is that a well that I can refill my potion at?"
Constantly
Mm.
asking.
Puddle of water.
that bottle of water.
I drink from that toilet. Does it heal me?
It definitely caused some very interesting moments of that,
Mhm.
for sure. Of us being like, all right, we need to find the nearest wishing well.
hmm
Drinking out of a fountain. People like, what the fuck are they doing?
Yeah, the elixirs are definitely a cool mechanic.
Yeah.
And they fit well in with the story and the location of everything too.
Mhm.
So
I mean, we kind of evolved over time, right? From just like, we're just playing this game to dink around on D&D, and then slowly
Right.
kind of transitioned to like, I guess I'll make a story.
Yeah, Gilderoy wasn't supposed to make it past episode, 4.
oh yeah.
I built him to not survive.
Did you
At
have a
all.
backup character?
I did.
What was your backup?
A monk
Ooh.
of mercy,
That
which
would've
is
been fun.
healing.
Mm.
So it would have been our healer. It's like a cleric monk hybrid with that subclass. I had a picture for her and everything.
Did anybody else have a backup character?
I did not.
I was probably gonna go
Um,
full cleric if
Mm.
Vanita had died.
I think I
Feel
toyed
like you're
with Rogue for a
Overly
while.
inclined to that.
You were gonna
feel
go
like
rogue?
what?
I said I feel like you're overly inclined towards that. The group doesn't have a cleric? Okay, I'll play a cleric.
I mean,
I feel like I've seen you do that like 4 times.
yeah, that's me. more than once. Yep.
I probably, like, I toyed with Rogue for a while, but I probably would have come back as a wizard. I wish I had watched Liam be Caleb before getting rid of Tatterhood. Because I so desperately want to try wizard again.
But you are in my game.
I know.
Yeah.
That's why I'm so glad.
Yeah.
I will say Gilderoy made me want to be a spellcaster.
Mm.
Neo directly translated, or Gilderoy directly translated into Neo. Basically,
Yeah.
is what made me decide to be a spellcaster.
Plus, then you can be a bear whenever you don't feel like doing
Yeah.
the spell thing.
Exactly. I'm done with martial classes, I think, for a while. Sorry, Pyrrha.
I feel that though.
They don't have a whole lot of things in their plate aside from I attack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did enjoy when I would lean into paladin more.
Mm.
Oh, I
Like,
want to be a paladin now because of Walrus.
You didn't cast spells very
The
often. You had some
smite?
pretty clutch
Fuck.
uses.
Yeah,
I did. I had
you
some
did.
cool moments.
Yeah, you did.
Granted, I think every single one of them, Duncan, you forgot that the other player or the other NPC had like advantage on their saving throw, but
I remember, yeah, the Drow captain I remember would have had advantage against Charm. Didn't remember till afterwards. I was like, it's already happened in the story. I'm not rewinding that.
Mm.
It was a cool moment. But you know, that's D&D. Sometimes you forget things, and then you just roll with it.
Mm-hmm.
Roll some dice, make some shit up.
I wasn't honestly
Ha.
trying to do that there, but
just roll with it.
serendipity.
I did that with our live game too. I caught myself. I was like, "Who's ready to?" And they were all like, "Oh!" I was like, "Shut up, guys."
The puns. Ryan did rub off on us, damn it.
You're
Not
playing an
bad.
actual live game now?
I am. It's finally got Joseph to try.
After
and
how
then-
many years?
God, however long we've been together. 6 years. It's been a work in progress.
Yeah,
And
that's
even-
quite. I don't think it only took me a few months to convince you. That's terrible.
And then Andrew almost killed it as soon as he killed my tiger.
And then I would argue that a turtle and minotaur almost ruined it
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
I don't think.
But
I've
the
heard
fact that
that
you and
story.
Ryan were so into it was like, okay, I can work with these people. The rest of this table, though.
Can go fuck themselves. Which is why I will never allow anybody to be a minotaur or a turtle in any of my games.
I know, I'm like traumatized.
My very first character was a Minotaur. You should be nicer to Minotaurs.
Not to the
Not
no,
this Minotaur.
No. Oof.
It was not good news.
No, they were.
Wait, you were there. You met
Duncan
them.
was there for a game. Yeah, that's right.
You met them. You
I
met
don't
those
remember
fucktards.
a Minotaur. I remember one person who was the GM.
That's
That was
right, because
Oren.
they
What
weren't
was
there
his
for that
name
game
again?
though. They weren't there for that.
That
game.
was Oren. The DM was
Or
Oren.
that's it.
Yeah. Now he's has a game for kids. He's running a game for his for Ryan's nieces and nephews as well as their preschool class.
Incredible.
And he has like
Start
all
him
the live
young.
printouts and everything. He made a
Nice.
cathedral.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So he's been teaching them how to play D&D. So
That's
Was
awesome.
that who I was replacing in that one game where I played there?
yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Mm,
But yeah, so finally getting Joseph to play, and then he wound up mentioning it to some coworkers who are like, "Hey, we've wanted to try for a long time." So it's one of his coworkers, and then his wife, and we had a couple of others, but they're having some unfortunate issues with their adopted child. Is not in good shape because of past treatment. So they're kind of hit or miss. They'll show up if they can. But they're experienced D&D players, so I'm not so worried about them jumping in. It's 3 newbies that I was like, no, y'all need to sit down and talk to each other and learn how to do this.